Hello everyone, welcome back to Center Stage, the show where we take people from the performance world and put them in the spotlight. My name is Trenton Nantel, and with me today is a very good friend of mine. He is from Pittsburgh, PA. He is a technology education major. He has played Chuck in She Kills Monsters, and now he is in the starring role of Clown Bar as Happy. Give it up for BRYAN KARPINSKI. BRYAN, welcome to the show.
Hello.
So, BRYAN, we're recording this the day after opening night.
Yeah.
How was it?
Oh, it was really good. Sold out show, which was just really cool. It was a very reactive audience, which I really liked. A lot of laughs, a lot of gasps, a lot of ahs during the more sentimental scenes. The energy was very high in the room that night, which was very, very nice.
And that's what we like to hear. So, tell me a little bit about the show so far, like your experience with it. This is a very fun show. It's very kind of raunchy comedy, which is something I know that you're a big fan, you're a real big fan of. So let me, kind of give us a little bit on that.
Yeah, so coming into this year, I had absolutely no interest in this show. I had never heard of it, and I really wanted to do SpongeBob. And then during the week I was here before classes started for choir camp, I got a copy of the script from JP and read it, and was immediately like, oh my god, I need to be in this show. I love this show so much. Auditions went pretty smoothly, and honestly, the whole process has been so smooth. The casting, I think, was done perfectly. We're all pretty close friends, all of us in the cast, so we all have very good chemistry with each other. And JP, with just his directing style, he always was open to letting us he'd be like, all right, just do the scene, and we'll try stuff. And a lot of it was just stuff that we did once, and it just stuck. And that's where almost all the bits came from. Towards the end, we started ad-libbing a lot of lines, especially Allie. She's just started adding so much just random little grunts and little things she'd say as Blinky, and that added so much to the show. So it's just been such a fun process. It's very much been a 50-50 of stuff JP has said for us to do, and then stuff that we've done for each other and we've added ourselves, and it's been, again, just such a fun process. And from what he said, that's how he wants to do Midsummer next semester too, which I'm very excited for.
So from what I have heard from Allie yesterday when I interviewed her and with you, is a very fun show to work with and be a part of, because you guys got so much creative freedom to kind of improv different stuff and, basically kind of find that character.
Yeah.
Speaking of character, so tell us a little about your character, Happy.
Yeah, so I play Happy Mahoney. I'm a former clown turned cop. I left the clowning lifestyle after my lover Blinky was taken away from me. Happy is a very interesting character for me. Normally I play goofy, over the top, non-serious characters. And Happy, he is a serious character. The whole joke is that he's a serious character in a comedy, which I love. I think that's so funny. I love deadpan humor. But I've never played a character like him. So it's a character I've definitely struggled with. The whole time I'm thinking oh my god, I'm not doing enough. But the whole point is that it's not over the top. And that was kind of a hard concept to grasp for me. But I finally it was a week or two before we opened. It just clicked. I'm like, no, I'm doing it right. That's the whole point, is that it's not directly funny, because it makes the other characters funny by comparison, I think. I don't know. I might just be doing it completely wrong, but that's how I see the character. And that was just a very challenging mindset to get into, because again, I'm normally dumb, goofy characters.
Well, honestly, from me seeing your performance, stuff like that, I feel like the idea of being the serious character in a world of comedy is being translated very well, and I think you're doing fantastic with it so far. But that's actually something to kind of come into is, what is it like going into that, trying to be a more serious character when everything around you is trying to essentially make you laugh?
There have been a few times where during rehearsal where someone will do something, especially if it's something new, and I'll break. But it's to the point where we've run the show so many times to where it's not too hard to not break. Every now and then something will catch me off guard. Allie added this one line. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to spoil it, but she added this one line during our department preview. Or she didn't add it, she changed it. And it just caught me so off guard, and I turned away. But for the most part, it's just, yeah, during rehearsal, it was so fun to like laugh around with the cast and stuff. But in actual performances, I've seen all this stuff like maybe 100 times now, so it's not too hard to like not break. But sometimes it definitely feels like I'm being left out because like all these other guys are doing this so much fun stuff, and then I gotta be brooding serious character, which like I get it, yeah. I love the role. Don't get me wrong, I love playing happy, but every now and then it's like, I wish I could do that stuff.
And honestly, you bring up the cast and stuff like that. From what I have seen, just like getting to spend time with you guys, kind of talking to you during the show for social media and stuff like that, and talking to you guys outside, it seems like you guys have such a very nice, close-knitted connection to each other within that cast. Kind of like similar to She Kills.
I'd say it literally is pretty much just the cast of She Kills.
Just kind of like swapped out a few
people.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's nice seeing that like kind of bond kind of create and stuff like that. I know Allie, when I interviewed her, she had that kind of, she was very thankful for that kind of connection that she was able to get with all of you guys and stuff like that. And honestly, that's what theater's all about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of She Kills, tell us a little bit, going back to your previous character, last spring you played Chuck the Dungeon Master in She Kills Monsters. Obviously you, for folks viewing who do not know much about Bryan, heavy Dungeons & Dragons fan. So tell us a little bit about Chuck and what that character was like for you.
That one was really fun because I was basically playing myself. Nerdy kid who absolutely cannot talk to women. That was a big part of his character and a little bit of a part of my character. Nerdy kid, over the top. It was just a very like, I don't know, like again, I just was playing myself and it was a very fun role. I didn't do any of the fight choreography, but I still was allowed to go to all the fight choreography workshops, and that was really fun to work with our fight choreographer, Brent. I got to learn a bit of like sword combat, and that was really cool, and knife. We did this one thing where we got rubber knives, coated them in fake blood, and then all wore white t-shirts, and then we'd have two people go in the center of the circle and just do a knife fight and try and like hit each other with the rubber knives and get blood on the white shirts, and it was so fun. I'm very happy, even though I didn't do the fight choreography, I got to be included in that process. But yeah, Chuck was just such a fun character to play. I'm very happy I got the role. Despite being a second semester freshman, like that was just, what? I think there was. I mean, I'll be honest. I think there was a bit of favoritism with Carlin being the assistant director because me and Carlin were very close friends. Still are pretty close friends. Which favoritism sucks until it benefits you. I'm not going to complain, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, and you can say it was favoritism, like you can say like you felt like it was or not. But in my opinion, I feel like you did very great justice to that character. You brought a lot to it. It was very fun getting to see you do it. And kind of like when I would go to rehearsals and get photos for you guys and stuff like that, it was always fun getting to see like what new stuff you would bring to it. Speaking of the knife fight that you guys did for the fight choreo, I remember I asked, I believe it was Allie, to get some photos and send it to me so I can post them. And, no context, all I got was just all you guys covered in blood with knives, being all like, great with it. So it's like, I can tell that experience was very fun for you guys. A little mortifying just getting that photo randomly, but you know what, it's good. But, so, talking about Chuck and then also talking about Happy, and I've talked to you a lot over the past with a lot of different characters you played, and you even said yourself, you play a lot of different, very like big character roles. Yeah. So, to the point where you could consider yourself very good at character acting. So what is it for you that you enjoy most about those types of roles as like being able to be like a character actor?
I just like, I don't know, it's fun. I like being a character and getting like connected with that character. I don't know if this is too big of a deep cut, but I talked to my therapist about it and she says that it's a bit of escapism, so that's cool too, I guess. But I don't know, I just like being a character, finding out who this character is, what makes him take away, if I'm doing it right and stuff. I really like, I do the Renaissance Fair, and that's why I love doing the Ren Fair, because I literally become this character for 8 hours, and that's so fun. I don't know. I just like acting as goofy people because I'm a goofy person. I like to think I'm a goofy person, and it's just fun to do that stuff.
And it's fun getting to see like you know, how you take different characters and stuff like that, because they're still, yes, you can kind of boil them down to like, oh, they're goofy, they're very like big acting, but each of them are different. Like, you know, Happy, your role right now in Clown Bar, he's much more serious, but he becomes kind of a character in a way because he is overtly serious in a world of comedy. And then, you know, you have Chuck, who is like this very big, you know, dungeon master. And then going back to your high school days, you've told me you played Hart in 9 to 5, which still waiting for those videos to surface so I can watch those.
I don't know if we ever got the video for that. I'll look in to see if I ever got it, because it was definitely filmed. I don't know if I ever got it though.
I want to hear the. Actually, can you tell us the story of Hart and your kind of reaction whenever Dolly Parton would be on screen?
Yeah.
That's always a fun story to hear.
Yeah, so Frank Leonard Jr., he's the villain in 9 to 5 the musical, which all the music for that musical was composed by Dolly Parton. And she just appears during the show. There is a projection of her that appears above stage during the prologue and epilogue. And during the epilogue, we're all out on stage, right about to do bows, and she appears one last time to like say goodbye or whatever to the audience. And we were all told to look up at her. So I would look up at her in fear and terror because she wrote me into this world and she wrote my character into getting exiled to Bolivia. So she is the god of that world. So I looked up at her in fear.
It's always fun hearing that story because it's just, I've not seen like what it physically looked like. So just getting the mental image of you just, in a sense, like you just said, looking at the face of God is always really funny, just an image and just, you know, kind of thing in your head. So, you know, we talked a lot about character acting, but another very big aspect of your, you know, role in, you know, the performance world as theater and stuff like that is as a playwright and as a writer. So we've talked about, you know, your acting stuff. So I would like to hear about, you know, not only your playwriting that you have done here at Cal, but also with a certain film studio that you have created in the past.
Yeah. So I started writing I got really into it during high school, specifically freshman year. I remember I started working on a project called Strange Magic, which was a big world-building project about this fictional world called El Dorado. And it was terrible. It was awful. My two best friends from back home, Noah and Carson, read it over and tore it to shreds. And thank God they did, because it really was a big eye-opener. And since then, I still work on El Dorado stuff every now and then. It's still just a fun world-building thing I work on. I like to think about it a lot. Never actually do anything with it. Maybe I will one day. But I started dating this girl who was also a writer, and that got me more and more into writing. But then after we broke up, I kind of stopped because that was like our big bonding thing. And then last year, Evening of Creativity was coming up, and my good friend Carlin was telling me that I should write something for it because he knows that I am, you know, kind of into writing. So I was writing this one play called Beans for Brunch, and it was going to be a time loop story. And I just was hitting like a roadblock with it. And I was sitting in Natali Student Center at like 11. And I was like, I completely scrapped Beans for Brunch. I'm like, I want to write a story about lunch. And then it just kind of, Lunch for Four just kind of happened. It just happened. And I wrote it, showed it to Blake the next day. He noticed a couple grammar errors, changed a couple lines, and sent it out for EOC, and it got approved. And I mean, you were in it.
Yep.
Auditions happened. Yeah, you were in it. And I mean, I think it went really well.
Oh, yeah.
I think Carlin's directing was amazing. All the actors were phenomenal. Our understudy, Riley, stepping in for the main character of Riley. When I wrote it, I wrote the character Riley. I used the name Riley because it's a gender-neutral name. But then afterwards, I realized like I want Riley to be played by a man because it's from my perspective as a man during first dates. And Riley kept saying, "I'm gonna play Riley," and I kept saying, "No, I want it to be played by a man." And then Riley ended up playing it anyways. And I still think that's so funny. And she did such a good job. I wouldn't want it any other way.
It was fate. It was fate.
Yeah.
And then And it was very great to be a part of that experience and getting to help you express your art as, from one playwright to another. It is really nice to kind of be able to help bring that to life. And also, with your most recent plays that you did for the first year experience this fall, probably my favorite part of the show was, I can never say the title right. It was the lunch.
Second, first, third date.
Write a lot about lunch.
Yeah, I don't know. I like writing stuff about dates. I don't know. It's something I've had a lot of experience in, and I think you can find a lot of comedy in them because it's very relatable. Everyone has had a bad date, so it's fun, easy to write about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We all. But so yeah, we talked about your playwright and stuff like that. But I would like to also hear about your short films. You showed me some in the past and stuff like that. Tell us about the kind of brand that you've built with those, and yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. My fictional, hopefully making it a real brand one day, I don't know. My fictional brand is called Spacefish Studios. I tag it onto everything I work on. I don't know. It's just, again, a branding thing. I don't know. Yeah, I've done a couple short films. The first one was this really stupid one called Pencil Case, which is about a court case starting in a classroom over someone stealing someone else's pencil. I don't know. I've always worked with film and stuff. My one older cousin Ben, when we were all younger, when we would all be together, me and all my cousins, we had this thing called Karpinski King Productions, and we would make films. We never actually finished a few of them. I'm honestly shocked we even finished any of them, because we're like, I think I was like 8 for most of them. I think Ben was maybe 13, 14. So like for a 13, 14-year-old, that much work ethic to like actually go through and edit and produce this. Edit and produce. The editing and producing wasn't like, it was what you would expect from a 13, 14-year-old. It was impressive that a group of kids who would see each other on holidays and the occasional weekend were able to make this much stuff. But yeah, we made Evil Scout Lane and Evil Scout Lane 2. We made 2 of them. And we made a sequel trilogy to Star Wars that are honestly significantly better than the sequel trilogy that Disney made. I have a lot of opinions about those. I'm trying to think what else we made. We attempted to make a Slender Man movie but never finished it. We made this one called Gone that was about like everyone vanishing. It was really cool because we filmed this down in Deep Creek, Maryland. And we would do it we worked on it on non-holiday weekends, so literally no one would be there because no one's down there on non-holiday weekends. So filming was actually pretty easy. We would just have to like get everyone to leave the room that we were filming in the house, and then outside, literally just no one would be there. It was perfect. We never finished that one though, just because we'd only have a weekend to work on it, and we're kids, we'd get in arguments. But I guess that's where it kind of, I don't know, started from. And then I had film classes in high school. So we made a couple films for that. And then this past winter break, we made one. And then there's one I want to work on once Clown Bar and SpongeBob are over called Special Eggs. I want to do stop motion with scrambled eggs.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm getting like a Jack Stauber vibe here.
I want to do more stuff like him, and Drive 45 is another big inspiration for me. I really want to make weird mixed media films, but those are so hard to do.
Oh yeah.
But I'll try. Throw my hat in the ring. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, seems like you have a lot of cool projects coming up. So here's the thing that I always like to do with all the people on the show. There's 2 questions I want to ask. First off is, what is the biggest aspect of theater and performing arts as a whole that you care about the most?
Definitely the connections. The reason I started doing theater was because of my sister, Marissa. She always did theater, and that's why I was like, okay, if she does it, I'll do it. And it's definitely something that's brought me and my sister closer together. I stopped doing theater after freshman year of high school, but then I started doing it again junior year because of my one of my best friends, Connor Redman. I started doing it because I was like, I want to hang out with him more. Let's do it. And then, I mean, here, it's pretty much the reason I am friends with all you guys is because I started doing theater. I mean, my roommate right now, Blake Dowd, that's how we met, and he's like one of my closest friends ever. So it's definitely just the connections with people.
I feel like you guys are a little more connected than just friends.
There are rumors, and I will not confirm nor deny them.
No, we love you guys. But no, I love that aspect too. The idea of just connection. You know, all these different people from different walks of life just coming together. You find, you know, they can be totally different personality-wise, but you'll find like, oh, we have this certain connection, this certain bond over like one simple thing. It can be an interest. It can be, you know, just certain vibes and stuff like that, and then just creates a whole new connection that you can carry with you for a lifetime.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So as we close out here, the final question, as always, is, you know, the idea of the show is to bring someone onto the show and put them center stage, put them in the spotlight. Mm-hmm. But I always want to ask, who is the one person or people that you really want to have the spotlight shown on them?
Like on the show? Or just in general?
In general. It can be, you know, a castmate, it can be director, it can be a friend, family.
For me, it would have to be a friend from back home. He's at Auburn right now. He's a guy named Noah Dixon. He's a guy I've been friends with for so long. He's such a close friend. And he's just an unending work ethic and talent. I mean, his big thing is he makes clothes. He's a tailor, I guess. He made the pants I'm wearing right now with these spikes on them. I love these pants so much. He's made a lot of clothes that I own. He'll make something, wear it for a while, and then get sick of it and give it to me because I wear the same size as him, and I love that. But he does that. I want to produce this because he was going to produce it, and he just kind of lost interest, and I want to pick it up now. He wrote a short film about a kid going out on a hike and getting kidnapped by a homeless guy, and they have like a debate on like the meaning of life and theology, and it's honestly so well written, and I'm really sad he never produced it because it was really good. So I think he's just like him and his work. He doesn't put himself out there enough with his work, I think, and I think he really should because he makes some really cool stuff. He just needs to like put it out there.
Yeah. So with that, actually, you know what? We have some time. Yeah. Does he have a clothing like line that, you know, we can free advertising?
Most he has, to my knowledge at least, the most he has is he has an Instagram called Noah Makes Clothes. So if you're interested in looking at his stuff, Noah Makes Clothes is Instagram. I don't know how often he posts it. He used to post it pretty often, but I think just with school. I mean, he is a full-time student at Auburn for engineering, so he has like no free time. It's crazy. He got a full ride to Auburn. He just pays for housing. That is insane.
That is insane. Oh
yeah.
My gosh.
So shout out Noah Dixon from Russell Road.
Well, we have reached the end of the show. Bryan, thank you so much for coming onto the show.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
I hope that the rest of the show goes great. Clown Bar, anything that you would like to say, kind of, you know, to kind of roll us on out of here? Any last words?
There's a little, I don't know, foreshadowing thing that I've been saying a lot for a project of mine that will hopefully come to fruition. Beware the Jabberwock. Hopefully that'll make sense in like a year or two when that gets produced. I really hope it does.
I'm hoping so too. Alrighty. Well, make sure to check out Clown Bar. There's still 3 more performances that you can go see tonight, Friday night, and then also Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening there at Steel Hall and Main Stage. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Trenton Antel. Thank you for watching Center Stage. Remember, stay golden.
It'll be great.